I hope you guys are feeling this vibe the way that I'm feeling it, because this is scratching an itch. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Second City. Eventually, and I think someone commented this, we're gonna need a new name for this city. Second City only works. I mean, it is the second city, but like, come on, we gotta get a better name than this. All right, so we're here, we're back in the city. In the last part, we built out Marley Nature Preserve. We also did the Evergreen Terrace Park, which, if I do say so myself, is just looking phenomenal. Look at all the people moving and grooving. Amazing. We also did Pinewood Acres and Mullins, and I'm gonna say this. I like the density here in Mullins, and I think I don't like the density here in Pinewood Acres. This just feels, now that I'm seeing it, it feels out of place. What we're gonna do today is, number one, build our university. I think we finally need that university campus. I don't even know how many people we have eligible, but it's too many to not have a university. Then we're going to try to address some of the unemployment by upzoning some of the buildings in the heart of our downtown and demolishing some heavily residential areas. Then, to make up for the destruction of some residential zones, we're going to do some upscaling in Pinewood Acres. I know, we just built Pinewood Acres, literally last episode. But I said from the beginning, even in last week's episode, that this was just temporary. It's just here for the now. And it's time for us to switch it up. So let's get into it. Let's start with the university, because this to me is, I think, the most important thing. We have not done any university education in our city, and it's something we need. Let's get a sense of where we're at. We have 6,500 people eligible. We have a few options. We don't have the unique, like, technical ones. We'll eventually get those. We have the Chinese university. I just know off the bat, like, stylistically, it's not really what we're looking for. That's not it. We have the Japanese university, which can be upgraded with extended classrooms and a library. I don't hate it. We also have the regular university. This is just like way too large. I would have to anarchy it in here, and even with it being anarchied, I can't guarantee it's going to fit in the way I want. So then we also have the modern university, a massive complex that offers education for academically oriented citizens, provides the 4th level of education, can be upgraded with an extension wing, a library, and a dormitory. So I think this is the one we're going to do. Why don't we go ahead? Let's get a sense of our land here. So we've got a relatively flat area, which then becomes a hill right here. Then we have this other flat area. Full transparency, this was me. I placed this here. I think we want to put some type of field or park over here, or maybe we put the fields and parks back here. Let's start with the fields, because these are larger in terms of their footprint, and I want to make sure they fit. Like, this technically could fit back here. This is the American football field. This could go right back here, fill up this little space around the highway, and look pretty nice. Soccer field, if we had one here, we could really back it right up to the edge there. Let's place this here, and then let's see, can we squeeze this in here? Does this fit? There's a moment. There's one moment here. All right, let's see what we can do with this. So unfortunately, we're probably gonna have to do an alleyway. And send it right in like that. Or instead of connecting it there, we send it and connect it into this section here. Let's see if we can do that. I think we do the same with this. Gives you a one-way on each side. Let's go ahead and give this the tree upgrade that the other side has. I believe that is a birch. Nailed it. That is a birch. Let's do the birch there in the middle, and then let's also put grass on here, because this is now into the university. So this actually looks kind of insane. So I might need to change this. I don't think I like all those trees, but this looks pretty good. Maybe here, this just gets grass all the way along, the center here, but there's no trees. Just put grass there. You can see on both sides. Oh my word, people are just streaming in. 600 people are waiting. This bus can hold 80. There's always people leaving this city. It's crazy to me. Okay, so now we have this new little area here. Let's then send up, I think, just an alleyway. I don't think this needs to be anything super fancy. And I want to be mindful of what we've got going on over here. If we sent it straight, we would be intersecting with that pillar. So what if we use a complex curve and we kind of work our way through? Like, we can get a road right through there. Let's then get another road coming over this way. Then, here we go. Turn everything back on. And this way, people have to go slow and steady through this area because the roads are curved. And it just means that we're using this space that otherwise we weren't using before. Okay, so we've got one field. Then I want to also try to place this American football field if we can. Let's rotate our view around. My thinking with this was if we turn off snap to the road, yeah, we can really squeeze this in. Okay, so my thinking here is I would like to try and get some type of parking road, angled parking, right along the side here. Just like so. Let's then connect in from here. Can we just go straight? I don't see why we wouldn't. Let's do that. So now we've got parking for this field. It's perfect. We might change this terrain in a minute. We're not going to do it just a second. Then now let's go ahead and place in the American football field. We're not going to snap to anything. There's one little section where this works. Oh my gosh. This is perfect. We're probably going to do this a bit out of order here in that I'm going to do some decorations. I'm going to make things look nice. Even though we're not fully done this area, I want to see some of it come to life a little bit. I am going to anarchy in a few trees and things there. I think that's just valuable. This also needs a road along the front. If I turn anarchy back off, say I came right from here, what would that look like? I'm fine with that. I think we go right from there and we kind of turn that into some type of, I don't know, almost like a roundabout in a way. All right, this center area is going to need some decoration for sure. I think these other areas just need some trees. Let's go ahead and just do a little bit of work here. But now we've got kind of a nice little decorated area for our parks. That's great. With us already having this road, I think we continue this road as our main drag for our university. Yeah, I kind of want the university where the backdrop of the university is facing the skyline. I think that would look really nice. Okay, let's do this road here. Let's bring an alleyway across the front and remove that section of Pacific Street. We could also consider just go ahead and upgrading this little road as well. I'm tempted to upgrade Elk Street so that the entire thing is a path, or excuse me, a one-way road from the highway exit. Mainly so that this intersection is really going to just be funneling people out versus having to contend with having people come up here, blocking this little section, and then moving right through. Kind of in the same spirit there. I think we get rid of these crosswalks. We leave the other two, and we get rid of the stop signs. Or excuse me, the lights. Let's go ahead and place down our university. I think this is going to do a lot. if we position it right here in the center, just like so. Oh my gosh, look at all the stars. We love to see it. Love to see it. All right, so there's our new university, modern university. That's a terrible name. But we've got an academic building. We have university library, and we have an extension wing. Now, the extension wing just tacks onto the side. This has an additional 2,000 student capacity, which would bring our student capacity up to 10,000, which I think is perfect. We don't need to build this right now, though. Let's go ahead and wrap this with a road. I think the entire university would benefit from having a road. And if you're telling me that this can just connect right into the road we already have here, I'm going to take you up on that offer. That's great. Do we keep this road like this? Yeah, oh, this is kind of fun. A little bit of a wild section there, but that's okay. I think what I would prefer we do is we connect into this corner and we follow kind of the contour of this road here. Like right there, we can get to a 90. Right here, let's grab this corner here. Right there. Oh, hit the wrong button. Well, no, I got to keep it turned on for the moment. I want to have lines on both sides. There we go, just like that. Turn everything off but angle. And then here, we're going to go from here to here. Turn everything off but angle. And go at the 1... at the 90. Okay. So now we have this. We can get rid of this section of Mill Street. And what I think we do is we turn this back area into some type of kind of quad or park for the university. So let's see what we can fit in here. We have some large parks. I don't think any of these are going to make sense back here per se. That's a huge dog park. That's got too much decoration on it. These are going to be way too large. Yeah, they're just way too large. Parks and recreation. The campfire site does not make sense. Neither do those buildings. We use this park cafe a lot, so I don't think that's the right call. I really just want like a park. Nothing crazy, just a park. Those are too large. What is this one? Large city park. Yeah, like something like that. It kind of almost looks like there's a classroom involved in there. We also have this that could go through there as well. And there's the plaza, which the plaza could also be kind of fun. We plaza kind of right behind the main building there. And then what if we take this guy here, place this here. Now, I'm going to try to get cheeky with this and use this better bulldozer. Let's remove those fences. We'll leave the other fences. Let's remove these fences and get rid of the homeless people who are living here. I'm not doing this. Not right now. Come on. All right. There we go. It does mean that this building here is going to, or this path is going to intersect with this path, which is perfect. And now what we really need to focus on is just figuring out how this is all going to be laid out. Okay. There we go. So the university kind of has a park that's built in. And once this gets this expansion, that park's even going to feel more like valuable because we're losing that little open space that would be there. All right. Now let's go ahead and place down a library. I think we are going to want a library here for sure. We have a library and we have academic buildings. The library adds 8,500 student capacity. Oh my gosh. And I will say our money is just skyrocketing, which I'm not going to complain about. Let's connect right up to here. Go straight on out. That's not perfectly in line like it should be. Hold on. There we go. Robin Street. Okay. Now we have academic buildings, we have extension, and then we also have the university library. The library, I think, could look fantastic, kind of like right here. Almost like it's also in line, or we could place it facing this direction. so that the side of the library is kind of also facing the quad. I think I like that. Let's then go ahead and also grab this road. We're going to anarchy this in here, kind of all the way around the side there. I'm not concerned about this section because I think behind the library, we're going to pretend that this is some type of, you know, staff parking or something. I want an angled alleyway parking. It's going to come too far out. All right, instead, let's do this one. If we do this all the way around, there's staff parking kind of around the university library. Also, Rachel Gould. It's going to be Gould University. Oh, Mason. I like Mason. All right. It's going to be Mason University. I feel bad for all the people who are over here upgrading their houses because little do they know their houses are about to disappear. All right, so we have Mason University. We've got the main campus. We have a library here. I think right along this strip is where we would want to place these buildings here. We're still in the positive. So I think I go ahead and just place them, even though we don't need them, because I want to get the full kind of experience. I think we take a regular 2-lane road from here, send it straight on up to here. Right, so that's going to give us this connection. I probably want to redo that though and make sure that constant slope is on. So with constant slope, there we go. Now what we can do is we can turn this section here into a parking lot of some kind. Exactly how, I don't yet know. Looks good enough to me from close up. You know, if you turn certain angles, it's fine. It's when you turn the other way that it looks janky. We're just going to leave it alone. Just not even going to think about it. So now we have this big parking lot in the back of the university. I think right along here it needs to go one of these academic buildings. So let's place one. Let's place one right along here. But I don't want it to snap at that point. I want it to be right along the edge here. Place one there. I'm going to place one more, but we're going to place it a little bit further away. Maybe right here. No, we'll place it right here. Give them a little space in between. What we'll then do, ooh, here we go. What we'll then do is we'll expand this surface so that it kind of connects all the way through. Right? I like that. I like that. Helicopter. Then we could even consider sneaking in a little road right here along the side of that building. Just another connection kind of through here. We're already starting to get people in the parking lot. That's fantastic. I think this area, all of this area here, can just do with some trees. I think along here, we'd also do some trees. And I think for now, the rest will also be trees. We can come back later and we can expand this however we want. So I think for the moment, it makes sense to kind of go small with it, put in some buildings, and then when we need more, we can come back and do that. So let's put some trees here. Let's grab these guys. It's going to be nice and dense. The idea being we want to protect the students from the noise of the city, but they still want to be close by and want to be able to get around. I do also think we need pathing, which I've not done yet. So let's do that next. Let's just throw in one more lick of trees here. I don't necessarily want another entrance. However, I could see value in having a separate connection. I think we solve this though by just doing pathways and calling it a day. So like right here, what if we did a pathway that kind of came up and continuous and came over, that will connect here where we have this other intersection. I think that's a pretty good university, Mason University. Eventually we'll figure out more ways to bolster this, but now this is finally done, which looks pretty nice. Okay, Trafford College, Mason University, right next to each other. We got a lot of dead trees over here in Trafford College, but I'm realizing when they die, they plant like, I assume like a little baby one next to it. So it's just reworking itself. It's shedding its old skin. Now what we want to look into is we want to get a sense of our jobs. Okay, so it looks like our unemployment rate is at 30.8. Most of that is because we have such a densely packed downtown, but not enough jobs to meet the needs of these people. So Horsham Flats currently has 12,000 people living in this little area. If you notice, it's a lot of smaller apartments, and it's just, I think, time for us to consider reimagining what Horsham Flats could look like. So what we're going to do, this is going to be controversial for those who live in this city, but we are going to completely clear out these 2 blocks. Everyone who lives here, you gotta go. We're gonna get rid of the parks. We're gonna get rid of the parking lots. We're gonna get rid of the paths. That might delete a few things. All these houses are gonna go, and we're gonna move the Baltar Pines to a different place in the city. I think as a sign of what's to come down here in this section of town, the Baltar Pines are gonna open up. And it's going to be a little out of place at the moment, but people are going to realize, oh no, this whole area is about to get upzoned. And yes, it is. Tons of people now have been kicked out of homes. I mean, look at this. I'm so sorry, guys. I know you're now all homeless, and that's going to just skyrocket the homelessness rate, but it's got to happen. So now 29.4% of people have no employment. Horsham Flats is now down to 9,200 residents. So we have dropped it by 3,000 residents. These 2 blocks, and the reason we're targeting them is because they are perfect squares. So we can really get some unique and intense building heights over here. It is somewhat in a central area. It's not necessarily in the deep, deep heart of the downtown, but I think that means that development is also going to need to spur over here. So let's get started with this block. First things first, I want to try out the new, at least new to me, Chinese style high density offices, because these buildings are apparently huge. I think right here in the middle strip, I don't care if anything zones there, we're going to replace it real quick anyway. I want to place just regular high density business kind of right along this central strip there. Okay, so now we're going to get a huge new influx of business. Now I know we deleted the path that was previously here. I'm kind of forgetting where everything is. Goodness. But because we have this opening in the center, let's go ahead and just fill it with a path. Kind of as like a reminder of what used to be here. Sorry, everyone. You had to go. It had to happen. And we're going to plant a regular size oak tree right in the middle. Eventually, it'll grow up and be something great. But now we're going to get a whole new slew of businesses here. I think what we also do is we consider kind of reworking this section here, because there's a few things here I think we could do better with. First of all, there is a Meadow Street firehouse. This is a tiny, tiny little firehouse that is meant for a small neighborhood. It is not meant for the city center. So let's replace it. Right now, this firehouse is not set to operate in any particular district. And this firehouse has a total of 4 vehicles, which right now, none of them are in use. Let's get rid of this firehouse. We don't need it. We also then have the Wilmar Community Elementary School. This elementary school only supports 750 students and has been too small since the beginning. Wilmar Elementary School only functions in Mellonville, which is this district here, and it's at capacity. It's not able to support Mellonville. Mellonville, to be fair, has almost 6,000 people here, but Mellonville is also served, oh no, by a high school. Okay, so this is the only elementary school. I just think we need a bigger elementary school to serve Mellonville. So let's go ahead and clear out this entire block as well. This is another section that needs to be reworked. And then right here, we have Summit Lane, which comes in and goes around the back here, connects over this direction. But This is just, it could be so much more than what it is. So let's go ahead and get rid of these buildings. I don't want to get rid of this tall building here. So I'm going to try to avoid hitting that if I can. We're going to get rid of Summit Lane. Get rid of Olive Lane. Oop. No, we're not. Apparently this building is positioned on Olive Lane. So we'll keep Olive Lane. If it means I can keep that building, we'll keep it. We'll even just make this a smaller connection all around. And we have a small post office. This also needs to go. So now we've got even more blocks to work with, which is really exciting. I'm not pumped that this building and this building are exactly the same. I really would prefer something a little different there. I also don't love this building. So what we're going to do instead, when I find a building that I don't like, we're going to replace it. We'll place this guy right here in its stead. Gives us a nice high-rise building. I guess we could keep these two towers, but let's first copy the color of this one, paste it here, so at least they look like a connected set, you know? Over here, there's something else. What is this? This is an NA high density business, NA high density business. Okay, we'll leave them. They're not terrible. Right here, we need to kind of fill in all this. So let's figure out how we're doing that. I would say, let's remove the zoning from this back half of Sycamore Street. I'm going to use Anarchy here to force this to work how I want. And then right along here, I think we place a whole new slew of regular high density offices and see what we get there. Bring in some more density. And then I think we also go ahead and we place some more high density commercial buildings. We don't have enough of those yet. Now, the European style commercial buildings, is this going to give us the height we want? No. See, I think they're going to be too small. I think right here would be some commercial. I think right back here would also be some commercial as well. We'd fill all this in with some commercial buildings. I think that'll look kind of nice. Do we have any northeast commercial or mixed housing? The problem with the mixed housing is I don't think it is enough businesses. You know what I mean? Like the amount of businesses we get is not great enough, I think, to make up for the size of the building, but we'll do that. That's fine. They're nice and close. We'll leave it be. Right here, I think we want to try to find some other tall buildings, and I really do think we could keep going here with office. We need it. It's valuable. So let's place another office in here. Let's actually also replace this section. I'd love to see this be one big office building if I can. Can we make that happen? I'm wondering instead if what we do is we place our own building here. Or let's see if we can find one other building. I mean, it needs to be able to go. For some reason, it can't go in this square. So let's do this. Let's save the game real quick because this is always going to be where things crash for me. And we can go ahead and do find my. We want a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want a 5x5 office building. Why don't we go ahead and we place a level 1 5x5 office building right here. That's the only one we're going to place by hand, but I think it's just going to give us a better height there. And this is already starting to fill out pretty well. We still have an unemployment rate of 24.7, 25.1. So we still haven't solved the unemployment. We've got $2 million or so. We need to replace the 3 services we deleted over here. So first we deleted an elementary school. I need an elementary school with a ton of capacity. I'm uninterested in anything else. This has 600. This has 1,500. I know we place this building a lot. We're going to place it again because we need another one. I think it could fit really nicely right over here. Could it fit over here without destroying that high rise? It could. Bam, perfect. This is only going to operate in Melonville, which now it actually is in, which is exciting. Behind it, is there a smaller post office that, no, nothing is going to fit there. That is such wishful thinking. Such wishful thinking. I could see us finding a new home for a post office. Because we do need to replace the post office. What is this? This is a groundwater pumping station. We do have a space here that could really accommodate a post office, and we don't have one over here as it is. It is going to mean that, you know, we've moved the post office further away from where it was. Some people in the community would probably be quite upset about that. But honestly, I think we had to do it. If I turn on anarchy, I won't impact that neighboring building. We're going to put a new alleyway there. Grove Lane. It did seem to delete the trees, which is great. And in here, let's go ahead and place the EE post office. Turn off anarchy. Place it right along the edge there. It's the new post office near the highway. Can service all this area. That kind of fixes those two buildings that we did remove before. I think over here we need another post office though, because we don't really have much over here. And I could see us just plopping this over top of a ton of buildings here. So maybe we place it on the back side here. Does this have any upgrades? No. That's okay. Now we're going to get 4 new buildings there. That's going to look pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay. We've solved that. We also deleted the firehouse. We still don't have enough money to place the new firehouse. So let me just write this on my list right now. I think we take this medical clinic. We move it right over here. What's this? A pub. Okay. Here's what I think we do. Then we get rid of both of these blocks. And this road connecting in the middle. Okay. Say goodbye to all this. Oh, I guess this is like a fancy building. Can I just move it? A Welsh pub. I think the Welsh pub is going to be moved over here. Get it over here in this new area. Right across the street from the school for all the teachers. Okay, back over here. We now have this open space. I want to move this just over here. Can it fit there? Ooh, it can. So that's going to go right there. Then I think this block here, we also downgrade. Get rid of any zoning that's here. And I think this is also going to become offices, as well as this block. Again, I know we're making a lot of changes, but the city is just, it's seeing a bit of a glow up. This is that glow up. All right, let's grab offices. Let's do this one. Let's do regular. What is this building? Oh, this is just a huge residential tower. I don't want more residential. All right, we'll do some high density there. We'll do one more lick. Let's clear that out. This whole block is... What happens if I just do the Chinese kind? Do we get any that are like really tall? See, none of those are giving me the height I want. So you know what? Let's switch that up. Let's try the northeast. What happens if we do this? A little bit of height there. Okay. Maybe what we can do, we can also throw in some high density business. We replace this with this guy. I want to clear all this so you get one big building, hopefully. Nope, that's not happening. Okay. And for some reason, all these trees are not disappearing, which... Sorry, everyone has to go. Everyone has to go. We have to start over. I need to get rid of the trees. Just let me get rid of the trees. All right, we'll see what happens with that. And then we do have this little strip here left. I'm wondering if we try out... We did the Chinese ones. I just want like really tall buildings. And I know some of that comes here. So I am going to place back in a little residential. We're going to do some Chinese style residential buildings. I don't know what they're going to turn out to be, but now we've totally revamped this area. This section, if we go back over here, we can look at where residents are. This section here used to have a ton more residents. It's now been shifted to have some business, and we've also added in a ton of office. So we are getting that kind of central office hub that I was hoping for. I think we're also getting close to switching from winter. Yeah, we're in February. That's great. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to Pinewood Acres. These are all perfect rectangles, which is exciting and also kind of horrifying because I'm about to go in here and totally mess this up. You know what? Sometimes what happens is you end up building out. You build out an area and you think it's going to be great. In your head, you're like, this looks awesome. And then when you see it, you're like, it's not exactly what I was hoping for. So with that in mind, we're making some changes. Pinewood Acres just went from having 2,000 some people to 600 folks. And unfortunately, that has to happen because I think there's just more that we could do here. And this could feel better than it does. It just doesn't feel like the neighborhood I was hoping. So we're going to get rid of really a lot of the zone that we did last part. And I don't feel terrible because this was kind of a quick, we slapped down some zoning, it auto-zoned, we let it do its thing. I want to be a little bit more thoughtful about how we're placing things, what we're doing with our zoning. So let's go ahead and play. We now have a completely empty area here. So this traffic jam is for all the people moving in who are now going to show up and realize that they don't have a house, which is very unfortunate. And I feel terrible about it, but it has to happen. Okay. So what I'm thinking is I want to continue this kind of Mullins like setup where it's very concrete. There are trees in the backyards, but like it is very much set up to favor the cars, very densely packed houses. So I really like how that looks. And I think along this road here, this is Florence Street, you're facing over into kind of a wooded area somewhat that disguises where the university is. So I think what we can do is we can come along here and do some decent zoning with just the NA medium density row houses. Now, I think what we want to do is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 here. What if we went 5 back all the way along and we made some like decent size houses over here, right? 5 back. Let's go 5 back here as well. 5 back here. Once those edges fill in, we're good to go. Okay, so we're gonna get a lick of new houses right there. I think in addition to having those houses, I would want to see some type of pathway behind them. I know this is probably totally unnecessary, but I want pedestrians to feel like they have some agency in this section of the city. It just is feeling a little bit like they don't. Or what we do, these blocks aren't huge, but I could get into having an alleyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's 16 here total. If we were to go right here and throw an alleyway in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's a little tight. It's a little tight. I almost think we just let it be bigger blocks over here in Pinewood Acres. Okay, so we're going to get some row houses there. I think along here, I do want to see maybe a larger medium density building. Why don't we try to do... I've not really messed with the Chinese medium density. The USA Northeast medium density. Let's see what we could do here. If we did like a 3x3, that's going to be a decent height. And then maybe what we do is let's just drag one all the way along here and see what we get. We're going to get 3 different buildings there, right there along Florence. Across from this is the firehouse and the police station, which again, I think I want to shift this just a little bit. I want to have the police station over here on this corner along Orchard Street. We can get rid of this surface because we don't need that anymore. Then with this here, doesn't have any upgrades, but I think we should consider having a parking lot pretty close by. So maybe what we do is we just stick... Oh, it fits perfectly. Okay. We stick a parking lot behind it. I like this one because it has the gate. So it feels like it's connected to the police station. You can drive on in, go to the police station if you need to. Bam. All right, let's get a little path here. We're going to get a little bit more slow, I'd say, with this particular build. I think I rushed it last episode. And I'll own my wrongs there. I rushed it. We got to go a little slower here. It deserves that. I almost think I want this to be a little different, but maybe not. The problem is we have an entrance here and an entrance here, but there's just no connectivity in the middle. And I don't know if it's needed. I don't know if it's needed, but I'm thinking it might be. All right, we're letting all these come together. This is looking good. We're getting some nice row houses along here. Now what I want to do, I still want to use the medium density, but I also want to start interspersing some other options here. So these buildings, especially on the edge, we're going to have like, a bit of a yard behind it. That's kind of why I think having at least a path back there makes sense. What if along here we did, a section of 4s. We did another set of 4 here. We'll do some 4s right here in the middle with a 4 over here. Because I want to try to sprinkle in some of these southwest ones as well. I think I picked the wrong one. Please hold. You need to be this. You need to be this. You need to be this. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I was like, that doesn't look right. All right, so we'll do a few more southwest right here. I'm loving when they go on the side road here. That's kind of fun. And we can probably fit one more in there. Leaves a little open space, but we can put some trees there. Just to give us a little something different. All right, gonna get a little color there. I think we can also maybe turn around here and in any of these blocks where it's a short building, which I'm not mad about, let's turn them into these southwest buildings. I think I like that idea. Okay, this area definitely needs some type of park, but first let's get a look over here. I like that. I like how those look together. That one I'm not necessarily in love with. In the middle there, it's a bit denser than I think I wanted, but I think what we do is we plan to have some type of parking behind it. This side needs to go on a road. How long is this? Just too long. That's even longer. This could go right here though. Put a parking lot behind it. I think we could then consider maybe a pocket park. That could look kind of nice, right? Maybe we don't snap to the road and we place it right here in the center. And then we can mess around with this surface. Happy with that. Happy with that. All right, then I think we need to get some somewhat taller buildings here in the middle as well. I wouldn't mind doing some low density housing. That's technically a high density build, low rent housing. But I think if I do something like this, ooh, no, too tall. Are there small ones? There we go. We got a 2x2. We could do those there. We could also then consider maybe doing a business over here. Maybe we do a northeast business. What do we get? Something a little larger. Okay. Just kind of get this block moving here a little bit. We'll give this some tree coverage. Oh, perfect. This is going to look much nicer. All right, now here, we're getting some of our houses of different colors kind of sprinkled in. The little 2x2s are what's creating this. Okay. I'm going to call one more mulligan. I think I meant for these to be northeast, not southeast. So again, I'm so sorry if you live here because it was never meant to be this hard for you. It's entirely my fault. There's no one to blame but me. Please forgive me. Now this one is technically a southwest, but that one's kind of cute. We'll leave it. It can be a little different. Okay, finally getting what we need in here. So let's add in some pathways behind both of these. I think we send a path straight along. And it doesn't need to do a crosswalk there. I think similarly, this one, we don't need a crosswalk there, but we will have it come all the way through. And it gives us this central area to work with. And here, let's do the same thing. Let's do, a little northeast mixed with a little just base game. I mean, if we can get them to go far enough back, like we might as well, right? And then, oh, this is perfect because then it gives us some clear areas to sneak in a little bit of tree coverage. If we do regulars, individuals, bam, bam. and just get a little bit of growth going on in this neighborhood. It's going to also make it feel, I think, a little bit more established. Doing it this way and just, you know, going slow. I think the detail is going to come to life, and I think it's going to feel like a neighborhood. I think before it just felt like I slapped it down. And I guess technically I slapped Mullins down, but I just even feel like Mullins had more attention to detail. We have these parking lots. We've got this church, which has nobody in it, which is great. We have this park. Like, it just feels like a neighborhood. And we finally entered spring. Hallelujah. All right, while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and get a little check here at our skyline, which is looking phenomenal. Holy cow. Now this is the downtown. This city is having a serious glow up right now. Serious glow up. Wow. Let's just take this in for a second. I mean, look at her. She looks great. Now, you guys gotta let me know in the comments below. Do we turn this little square here into a park, or do I put more buildings in? Like, do you want to see additional skyscrapers right here, maybe filling this gap from this angle? Or do you want that to be a little bit of a green space, a little reprieve, if you will, from the hustle and bustle of the downtown? All right, this medical clinic is doing great. I do think right behind it we could place something, and I am tempted to say that that something is just going to be a bunch of little row homes. We're not going to lose our roots. We started with little row homes. We've just been upgrading as we go. Similarly here, unfortunately, we have to place it along this road, but I think of everything, those are going to fit so nicely. That's going to look good. You are only functioning here in Melonville, and you are nearly full, which is interesting. Does Horsham Flats have a elementary? You do. You're the elementary school for Horsham Flats? Bedford City High. You have 2 high schools. Oh, and you have Bedford City, which is over here. Already has its extension. I think we need to also allow this to function here in Horsham Flats and go ahead and give it the expansion. It's going to need it. While we're here, let's go ahead and give it a park as well. Look nice. You're right next to a high-rise there. That's great. All right, so that's coming along nice. Back over here in Pinewood Acres, it's looking much better. Ooh, I like kind of the mix here. I like that we've got some houses that all look the same, some houses that look unique. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is starting to feel like a neighborhood. And we got the public building. This is... All right. I'm going to say it. Pinewood Acres is maybe becoming my favorite part of the city. All right. Now what we do is we need to place in a park. And I think I'm going to have to double check what we've set up here for our public transportation, but I think it might need to be improved. I think the park we're going to place over here is going to be a skate park. We're right by the highway, and I think this could just work perfectly here. I don't want to get rid of all the trees, but if we place a skate park right there, you're by this highway exit. There is a highway entrance here, and I know originally I had another one that came off this way, which doesn't make a lot of sense, because if we have another one here, you're just going kind of the same direction. And it's slowed down enough. All right, maybe it's fine. I'm going to leave it be. Okay, so we have this guy here. Now, I think right next to the skate park, we're going to want to have a little bit of business, right? I'm going to want to have a little something. So what if we did just a little strip, just like this? Okay. Can I do an alleyway behind this without messing it up? Like, what if we had a road that came up and over and down? The two-way versions are all too big, unfortunately. So it has to be a one-way. But if we did that, we could even extend this commercial a little bit further. Apathique, good vibes, good cocktails, welcoming atmosphere, come together for an awesome time. Screw it. That's going to go right there. Oh, yeah. It's like the staple bar of the neighborhood. Okay. I think we're doing that. I think we're going to continue with this northeast. Although I don't want them facing there. You guys are facing the wrong direction. What if I remove this? We just put in a 3-fer. And now that you've positioned yourself along that row, oh, it's going to be on both sides. Okay, I'm fine with that. So now we have a little bit of a commercial strip here, which I think is great. Pinewood Acres, you guys go to the Mullins USA Northeast Elementary School, which is already full. So I think this needs to be limited to Mullins. Get rid of Pinewood Acres. Get rid of the nature preserve. There's 6 households there. They don't get out. This is going to need its own school. It needs its own school. There's no way. So let's see. Mediterranean Elementary School. I wouldn't mind doing maybe this urban school, but I liked how that USA Northeast looked. Where's the southeast? Southwest. It's a little large. Little large. The Japanese... Oh. Nope. Nope, that's huge. UK Suburbia. Ironically, it would fit perfectly. We've accepted that this is actually going to be a little bit more urban than originally planned, and I'm okay with that. You know what we're going to do? We're going to place the same school that we placed here facing the other school. We're going to have neighborhood rivalries. That's what we're going to do. Now, this can get an upgrade from 1,200 to 1,500. We're going to need it. I might as well just do it now. I hope you guys are feeling this vibe the way that I'm feeling it, because this is scratching an itch. Oh, it's good. Okay, let's move the firehouse. I don't like it there. I think I want the firehouse just off the main road. I want it right over here. Right off the main road, but close to everything. Okay. Now that we got all this situated, that's looking good. We got our new buildings coming in here. Once these zone, we're going to get a good picture of what this looks like. But I'm very pumped about this. Okay. I think what I need to do now is just take this aesthetic and bring it over into the next 3 blocks. So give me a minute and we'll do that. We're nearly done building out over here, but now we've got an additional set of blocks here for Pinewood Acres. I added in 2 tennis courts behind our elementary school, as well as a parking lot and a little pocket park lined in trees, nothing crazy. I'm just liking how this feels like the houses have been built and changed over time, right? Like it feels like there's a variety, which I think we were lacking in some of the other parts of the city. Now, as we get over here, we do get some flatter buildings, more just kind of all of the same quick build houses, which I like. But I do think in this block here, we're going to allow for a little bit more height than we originally had before. Or maybe what we do is actually we do it here. We allow this block to have a bit more height. What I would like to try to solve is some of these issues people are having with not having a place to live. So what I'm thinking is we do the EE low rent. Let's just do a really big 6x6. Let's see what I get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get a big guy here. I just want to let that zone. I want to see what it is. In the meantime, though, I think we do need to place 1 more building here and get rid of something else. Because what I'd like to see, a really big low income tower. All right, this only functions here in Wilmar, and it's already full. So let's also give that an expansion. I don't think it's going to matter that much. And then what I think we're going to do is we're going to remove the zoning that's right here. Get rid of those buildings. This right here is a large playground, which we love, but I actually want to move this maybe right over here across the street, still keeping this huge section. And I want to place one of these Chinese low rent buildings. And let's just see what I get. If I go like this, oh, they're actually not that big. Okay, hold on. Back that puppy up. Let's do just Chinese regular. Like, I want a big building. It's not as big as I was thinking it was going to be. But in the meantime, while that's there, let's also go ahead and go bam and bam for business. And we'll put some businesses in there. Good enough. It's going to change that little block. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but it looks like the NA high density housing and NA high density, like those are the tallest buildings, as well as some of our general office buildings. High density office, high density office, high density office. Yeah. Interesting. I would not have suspected that. Also, look at how orange all of these stinking. You can see them from everywhere. It's crazy. What do we think? I don't think it's it. I know there's a lot of just going back and forth here, but in some ways there's just, I've not sat down and really explored some of these new buildings. So this is serving as that for me. What if we were to do some southwest medium density housing, kind of right across the street? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go 6 back. They're not too tall, but do those right across the street there. And I think we could then consider maybe doing, they only went 5 back, which is fine. Maybe we consider doing another row, like right, or actually we do a set here. A 5 by 5 right there on the corner. Right? We cross over into this area. Right here we could squeeze in a 5 by 5. Just fill in those corner blocks a little bit. Then I think right here we do a little bit more northeast business. Give me that wall to wall. Originally, I was really enjoying doing this more spread out stuff, but I'm thinking the wall to wall just fits a little bit nicer. It feels complete, you know? What is this? Originally a covered market built in 1860, this structure has been transformed into a dynamic cultural center, hosting a wide array of diverse exhibitions. Step inside and experience a hub of recreation and creativity where visitors can immerse themselves in art, culture, and community events. You know what? I want to see it. Oh, I mean. Okay, I'm going to put a picture on the screen. This reminds me of the Sprouts on the corner of Washington and Broad Street. I'm going to slap it up on the screen. It looks just like the Sprouts. I don't know what it was before. Now it's a Sprouts grocery store for those who don't know what Sprouts is. But it looks the same. This is giving South Philly. I'm loving this. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. What if we did a big park right here? Let's do this one. We're going to place the hedge park here. We'll slap in a few trees. Try to keep it modest, though, so it feels intentional. And we'll also place 2 right there in there. Firehouse. There's a park over here. This is kind of coming in as like a little old school downtown. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. That is exactly what I'm looking for. And I want it in this color. Yes. A developer came in and they built 4 of those just like generic buildings. Medium density housing. You can hold how many people? 38 households or 83 residents. Whereas here you're holding 2 households, 6 residents, 2 households, 7 residents, 2 households, 4 residents. Now some of the wealth over here is not great. And unfortunately, that's just going to happen. Like, I'm not going to be able to solve all those problems. All right, I think for this last set, other than these few buildings here, I think I just duplicate what we got here. So let me just go ahead and with the power of video editing, make it look like all of this was built. And poof, just like that, it's finished. So all I did here is I just copied exactly what we had done for the rest of this area with the mix of using the USA Northeast medium density row homes as well as the NA medium density row homes. So this is all consistent and just, again, it feels lived in, and I love that. Over here, I just slapped down some offices, and then I did a little bit of regular commercial. Nothing crazy. Back here, to remember what was here for one episode, which was all of that Southwest low-density housing, I maintained, and by maintained I mean I put in a brand new strip of just this type of housing. Single family, nothing crazy. It's looking good. Now, Mullins and Pinewood are working off this small medical clinic, and unfortunately, this small medical clinic is not able to keep up with this new just influx of people that are here. When it was single family homes, that was one thing. We're now dealing with a lot of people. So this was the small medical clinic. Okay, it's not like a particular version, it's just the general one. That has 25 patient capacity. The USA Southwest Medical Clinic has capacity for 100. It could fit there if we got rid of the roundabout. The Japanese one has capacity for 100. I don't love it. The General Medical Clinic can go here. That has capacity for 100. Modern Medical Clinic has capacity for 90. I think I like the size of that. The USA Northeast Medical Clinic. Ooh, that has capacity for 230. It could almost fit right there, but I think, I don't know. I don't know if I would want it facing that way. French won't fit here. UK Medical Clinic can do 150. You know what? The UK Medical Clinic can do 150, and it can sit right in here without needing to get rid of the roundabout, which I like. Let's do that. This is going to operate here and here. Can support up to 150 people. Much better than what we were dealing with before. This will also be the one that operates in Mason. I know that there's one right here that's operating kind of all in these areas, but this is the university, so we want to make sure that everybody is able to get over there. Okay, we've done so much in today's episode. First, we built out this university campus, which I just have to say, I'm so proud of how this turned out. I love the parking lots over here. I love that people are using them. I love that there's stuff happening underneath of the railway line. Ever since we built this ages ago, I've been trying to figure out how is this gonna work, because this is kind of a ridiculous train bridge but there are longer train bridges in the world. Look at that. You can even see the cars in between the lines of the rail lines. I'm obsessed with Mason University. I think that looks fantastic. I just think it's really, really starting to come together down here. It's taken a while, but we're finally getting there. I'm also really happy with how the redevelopment of Pinewood Acres went. And in some way, it's beginning to mirror some of the development we have over in South 2nd. So we're starting to see this grid pattern extend down. I think this grid is going to extend here as well to kind of cap off this lower area. However, I'm not sure if it's just going to be residential or not yet. I'm really attached to this being like the city center. So I think it may just be residential. We may break out into some more low density or low single family homes soon. And I do know I want to start expanding Easton and go this direction in one of our future parts here. And then over here, the new Skyline. I mean, tell me what you think, guys. But where's the sun at? The sun's over here. I am so invested in this. I mean, this looks just great. It looks great with the hospital up in the front. Ugh, love that. I do think we're getting close to needing to move Blackwood Corner. If I check our natural resources, yeah, I mean, they're starting to get pretty low. These are much smaller natural resources centers than they were before. So I think it might be time to start to move that. In the next part, what I want to focus on is I want to start getting our industrial hub built out. And I think it's going to be right over here in this corner. We're going to take a break kind of from this section until more inspiration strikes. But I think I want to start building out an industrial hub down here, finally connect this rail, which connects up to our other industrial hub. That's going to also help inject some more jobs, and it's going to then inform kind of what our highway does next. I do think we need to make some changes to this highway, and it's unclear to me if that just means we go straight right here and go across this band instead of right here. I don't know. We've got to figure out what's going to work best, and we can do that in the next part. But for now, we've done a lot, and I'm so happy with how this turned out. It almost makes me want to, I'm not gonna, but maybe it could look that, I mean, she speaks for herself. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.